So my parents banned me from having social media for the first 18 years of my life, and now I'm a YouTuber, so that worked out well. Anyway, here's my thoughts on not letting your children have social media until they're a legal adult. My thesis statement is, don't do what my parents did. Also, so I know they didn't ban it from me because I did something bad, but more so because they wanted to keep me safe, which I guess I get. But I think the biggest problem, that I faced was the feeling of isolation because everybody constantly used and communicated through Instagram, Snapchat, Discord, and whatnot, and I didn't have it. I only had WhatsApp. Who the hell uses WhatsApp? No offense, random older family members. But that limited the ways that I could communicate, reach out, and bond with people. But not only did I basically have to force my entire friend group to use WhatsApp, there were times when plans didn't happen because of the platforms I was on. Like, I like to play video games, subscribe to my gaming channel, link in description, and in high school people would ask me if I wanted to play with them, and obviously epic gamers use Discord to communicate, but I didn't have Discord, so I was never added to the Discord group, so we never ended up playing. But not only was it isolating to know that my friends were posting stories, liking each other's posts, playing video games, and interacting with each other on other platforms, and I was missing all of it, I was also isolated by not seeing what they saw. For example, sometimes at school, one of my friends would say something like, "Hey, did you see what this classmate posted?" And then make fun of it because we were mean middle schoolers. But obviously, I hadn't seen the post. And in this situation, I had two options. Either ask someone to find it and show it to me, and usually they were Instagram stories, so they were already gone by the time we talked about it, or just kind of sit there and not engage with the conversation, which is what usually happened because I always felt bad about having to ask people to show me posts. Anyway, another way was isolating was not getting any references. Like when TikTok became more mainstream, people would reference TikTok audios or just like audios in general. But obviously, I had never heard of any of them. So I was just confused about why everyone suddenly really liked corn or why everybody's tables were broken. Like, I felt like that how do you do fellow kids guy, but to people my own age. I felt like an old family member who didn't understand what their grandchildren were saying and just had to sit there and smile and be like, haha, yep, I know what you're talking about. Oh, and once my entire elementary class was just chilling in the classroom, and someone yelled that we should do the mannequin challenge, and everyone except me knew what it was. So then, when the camera came up to me, I ruined it because I moved. That moment haunts me every single day. Also, side note, isn't it kind of crazy to think about how everyone has seen the same videos or TikToks and whatnot, and you can just say something completely random like symphony, or show a specific shade of green, and everyone in the room will smile because they know what you're talking about. It's like an inside joke, but among strangers you've never interacted with. But then when you don't understand something that everyone else is laughing about, it can feel very isolating. Anyway, when I turned 18, I was like, yes, I'm free. I can have all the social media I want. So naturally, I downloaded Webtoon and nothing else. What? And at the time, I was like, yeah, whatever, I'll get the other apps later, because you don't really realize how much you're missing out on until you're included. Wow, that sounds way too deep for a stupid video like this. But I guess because I lived my entire life without social media, I wasn't in such a hurry to get them for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, months after I turned 18, I got TikTok, and that was only because I was forced to get it for a project I was working on at the time. And then eventually I got Instagram and Discord and whatever everyone else has. But now I still don't know how to use most of them because I feel like I missed out on my experimental phase. Like in middle school, when you get Instagram for the first time, you might post some embarrassing photos because you're learning how to take good pictures and you're learning how to use Instagram and you're learning Instagram etiquette. And it's okay that you post the bad pictures because all your peers are also posting bad pictures because they're also learning. But what do you mean I have to go through this embarrassing experimental phase and post awful pictures at the age of 18 when everyone else has already made mistakes and learned how to take good pictures? That's just embarrassing. That's why I haven't posted anything. But I do think apps like Instagram are also a great way to keep in touch with people you would normally not be in touch with. Like, I love seeing stories from people who I used to be friends with in elementary school to see what they're doing now. But sometimes I still don't know Instagram etiquette. Like, how close do I have to be with someone to follow them? What if we were in the same class for 3 years, but we haven't spoken since middle school, but I'm still curious to know what you're doing? Is it acceptable to follow you? Or what if I meet someone new? How close do I have to be with them to follow them? Why is there not a course for this? Oh, right, because everyone already learned this through mistakes in middle school, and everyone is expecting you to have done the same. Also, when I started university, I had to download about a million other apps, including but not limited to Telegram, Facebook, and Discord, because those were the platforms that clubs and whatnot kept contact, and people assumed that you already had them. And I had to learn how to use all of them in a very limited time, which sucked. And I still don't know how to use any of them, and I feel like a grandma. No offense, grandmas watching this. I'm sure there are plenty of you. Now, I do understand why my parents banned me from social media. There are about a million security and safety risks that come from having unsupervised internet access as a teenager, especially if you have not been taught how to be safe online. Like, I know people in my personal life who have seen terrible things online, or talked or sent images to creeps not knowing any better, or fallen for scams. And I'm not exaggerating at all when I say social media is absolutely horrible when it comes to mental health, especially for a teenager. And I think it will forever be awful, probably because it's hard to control all the annoying people who ruin it for everyone else, but also because sooner or later people get desensitized to the hate, and I've noticed I've kind of began to expect to see hate when I go online. Like, whenever I see a TikTok of someone who has a completely normal body, but does not fit societal standards of what an attractive body should look like, I already know what the comments are going to be before I even open them, and that's why I've stopped reading comments. And I know I'm not the only one who expects it, because people comment saying, why is no one hating? People are expecting the hate, people are expecting to be overly critical of everything, and everyone has to voice their opinions all the time. And I'm no different. I'm a judger, it's my favorite hobby, I'm a pessimist, I hate fun. I'm kidding. But at least when I judge someone, I don't tell it to their face, and I don't tell others that they can't just have fun, you know? And I'm aware everyone likes to hate watch stuff, kind of like what you're doing right now. And I do too. Like, it's understandable. I understand it. I get it. And I get that that also creates controversy, and it creates people commenting and interacting, and that pushes out those videos and whatnot. And TikTok gets more watch time and more engagement, blah, blah, blah. You get it. But that just proves my point that TikTok is awful, and humanity is awful, and everyone sucks. Except me. I'm perfect. Honestly, I've come to the point that I don't even want to open TikTok, because I know I'll just get annoyed at some stupid opinion a stranger has and then have it ruin the next, hour. But anyway, I'm not going to insult your intelligence by lecturing to you about how to be safe on the internet. I'm sure you are all well aware. But just a couple reminders to the 2-year-olds watching this. No, the scammer asking for pictures pretending to be some modeling agency is not real. Trust me, you're too ugly for that. I'm kidding. You are all very beautiful. At least on the inside. No, the free V-Bucks giveaway is not real. Yes, there are creeps and pedophiles everywhere. There will always be people telling you to kill yourself, or call you slurs, or insult you in every way possible. Don't take it to heart. They probably mindlessly comment that same thing on everything anyway. Be aware of misinformation, because with the way the algorithms work, it's so easy to fall down pipelines, and I know most of you, including me, do not find all parts of the story and simply just believe the first thing you hear, do your research, blah blah blah. Yeah, you get it. Stay safe. Don't share personal information. Yeah, you get it. I sincerely hope that you get it. Anyway, in that sense, I'm glad that I didn't have to experience all the hate or creeps to the degree that some of my peers did when they were 14. So thanks, parents. You get 1 point. But all that said, do I think you should ban social media from your teenagers till they are 18? No. There are definitely safety concerns, and parents should be monitoring what type of content their children/teenagers are watching/posting. They should not be completely banned from having it. Whether we like it or not, everyone and everything is online, and children will eventually have to learn to use it and how to use it safely. and no one will learn this if they're completely banned till they are a legal adult. I think it is especially important to learn how to connect and communicate with people through social media, and that skill develops with time and cannot be achieved if you just completely ban it. So, if your child is over the age of like 13 or 14, I think you should let them have social media, but do still pay attention to the type of content they consume, warn them about creeps and the risks of having social media. Because banning them from everything may lead them to feel isolated, because in most cases, their peers will have social media. Also, they will have to learn how to use it all eventually, so rather have them make embarrassing mistakes when they're 14 than when they're 18. But also, I'm not a parent, so what do I know? This is just my experience growing up without having any social media. But take everything I said with a grain of salt. Okay, bye. Please like and subscribe so when I hit 1 million subscribers, you can say that you were an OG. Okay, bye.